Louisiana Beer Review Special Edition Modelo Negra canned version revisited. Well, they do make cans, but in the United States it's only the one pack. They called it on their website, one pack, 24-ounce can. Milliliters is 710 milliliters. So 710 milliliters is $3.69. So for one can, that's $1.50, $1.80, $1.85 per can. Not a great deal. You get a better deal if you buy the 12-pack bottles, 12-ounce, 355 milliliter, 12-ounce bottles. But those are going up. What's the price now? Yeah. Medium-bodied lager with slow-roasted caramel malts brewed for a rich, smooth taste. Brewed and canned by Cerveceria Modelo Nava, Mexico. Imported by Crown Imports. So Crown Imports, Constellation Brands, they control the distribution in the United States. But ultimately, this is owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev. They own Modelo. Okay. Introduced in 1930, they say on the website it's a Munich-style Dunkel. Except in Munich, they would not have non-malted cereals. They would have the water, the malted barley, the slow-roasted, like they say, malted barley to make it dark, and the hops and the yeast. They would not have the non-malted cereal grains. In other words, Mexican corn. Now this glass is so old, it says Negra Modelo. They sent this to me, actually the company Modelo sent this glass to me in 2014 when it was Negra Modelo. Then they changed it to Modelo Negra. They sent me two of these glasses, gold rim. It's getting worn now. One broke. I was washing it and it slipped out my hand and it shattered, so I got one left. And they sent me $50 worth of Modelo Negra, which in 2014 would buy a lot of Negra Modelo. And they sent me a box of spices from the Spice House in Chicago, Illinois. The only stipulation about getting it free was I had to do cooking videos and then pair the food that I cooked with the spices from the Spice House and drink the beer with it, which I did. And you can look those up on my channel. It says Modelo, it says Negra Modelo Promotional. And they said Chef Rick Bayless is doing this promotion, and I watched some of those videos with him. But I was thinking, why did they pick me? You know, I didn't see any other beer reviewers do it. I mean, I guess I had crackers with Vienna sausage and hot sauce on them, but I don't know if that put me up to the level of Rick Bayless. But anyway, beautiful, clear, brown appearance, thick, somewhat beige head, the aroma. Yeah, roasted malt. Yeah, and that corn will give it like a cornbread, corn kernel type aroma maybe. Smells great, looks great, tastes, cheers. They don't disclose the IBU on their website. There's definitely bitterness though. I'm saying it's coming across as 2 out of 5 hop cones. Sweetness, it's there. 3.5 out of 5 sugar cubes. And there's a lot of brown bread crust here. Across the board, brown bread crust. Now, this is not going to compete with your true German, Bavaria, a German state, Munich, capital of Bavaria, state capital. It's not going to compete with something like that. I think there's a Paulaner Dunkel. We don't get that here. We get there. We do get a dark beer there. Märzen. we do get Flensburger Dunkel from northwestern Germany, and a 6-pack of that is the same price as a 12-pack of this. So this is not going to compete with the Flensburger Dunkel, but on price it beats it, because you're getting 12 bottles, which are bigger, 355 milliliter. Flensburger 330 milliliter bottles. Got the cool swing cap though. But yeah, but just looking at the beer itself, not considering the price, you're not going to compete with the Flensburger. Excuse me. But Germans did start all these Mexican beer companies back in the 1800s, or in this case 1925 with Modelo, the Negra from 1930. From what I've read, nothing definitive, but they said that the American barley didn't ferment too well, so they added corn or rice to help it ferment into alcohol. That could be true, I don't know. In other words, the American barley strains were inferior to the European. A lot of these American, Mesoamerican, in this case Middle American and North American, they use European hops though. They'll import them, like Saz hops from Moravia, things like that, because they say they're better. All right. Medium body, dry finish. Yeah, you could drink this every day. I could. I wouldn't get tired of it. I could get tired of the price. That's why I don't buy it every day or too often. I buy it occasionally, usually at least once a year I get a 12-pack. But, I mean, it's just... The natural ice is still more cost-effective, you know? No, I mean, getting 30 packs for $22 instead of 12 packs for $18, $19 for this. But this is a treat. Second best, so it's my favorite Mexican beer, mass-produced Mexican beer. My second favorite is the, not surprisingly, the Dos Equis Ambar, which is similar but lighter, a little slightly lower alcohol. This is at 5.4%. There is a Dos Equis Noche, I think Bueno, for Christmas, a Bach, but I've never seen it since I passed it up in Gonzales, Louisiana in like 2010 at Walmart. I saw it and I was like, I'll get the 12-pack when I come back over here. And I never saw it again. Okay. The score is easily an A. Canadian National Railroad. I'll go with a 9.4 out of 10. Most excellent beer. One of the best beers you'll find in North America, I think. I'm talking about mass-produced beers, not extremely expensive craft beers. So laissez les bon temps relais, and I'm going to end this review by saying y'all go to Nava, Mexico, and take a brewery tour.